welcome to part 5 of F-Zero, and sorry, I accidentally turned up my audio way too loud. Anyway, Blue Falcon.
Let's do this again.
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
Mute City
Yeah,
3.
Mute
Okay.
City, bitch.
Because you can always have a Mute.
Anyway,
Because you
anyway,
can always have
Mute
another
City-
Mute City.
well, and now at first glance, you think Mute City would just be. At first glance with the map, you'd think it would be just Mute City 1, only with a new coat of paint. Well, it turns out we're wrong. As you can see, upcoming here, we have a more narrow pathway here.
Ooh, so different.
And there's also some mines that we
Also,
got to
doesn't this
avoid.
remind you of
Wow, original.
Oh look!
creative.
It's also, look at all these circular bombs.
That was
I
bad
see you
the
with the
first
Sonic
try,
Heroes.
and it was
With the
bad the
Sonic
second
Heroes.
try.
Well,
I see what the Sonic
Burned.
Heroes one is.
You
Cool.
you just got burned by Will, Lucas.
What did he say?
That was a poor reference the first time, and it was a poor reference the second time.
Yeah, if it sounds
Burn.
like we're acting out here, that's because we are, because this is the second time we're recording this.
Yeah, let's explain.
Audio
what
hiccup.
happened.
It
Yeah,
happens.
let's explain what happened.
No. It's nothing more than really an audio
explain.
hiccup. That's all.
It's-
It was.
Yeah.
It's something. Yes, audio screwed up, so now we have to do part 5 all over again. Whatever. So
Okay.
we're going to talk
So
about
anyway, let's talk about something we failed to mention in the previous parts. Our first
Oh.
exposure to F-Zero outside of Smash Brothers.
Never played it.
I-
Never played a single game. Though I
Yeah.
though I only saw the Brain Scratch playthrough. But other than that, I never played a single F-Zero game ever.
Well, you need to.
I know.
It doesn't matter which
Kick him
game
out
it
of
is.
the chat.
I get it, Will. You're the biggest F-Zero fanboy around here.
The closest
mean-
thing to an F-Zero fanboy here, anyway.
I love F-Zero as well. In fact, I'd say it's one of my top 5 Nintendo franchises. But I don't think I quite enjoy it quite as much as you do. It's close to your level, but not quite.
So how did you get into the series?
I first played F-Zero via Super Smash Bros. Brawl's masterpieces that you can unlock, in which you could play short trials of different classic games. And I thought it was interesting. And then when I got into emulating, I actually played it for reals, and it was kind of challenging, but for some reason I still enjoyed it. And then I played F-Zero X for the N64 on an emulator, and I ended up loving that even more. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool! It's so fun, and that music kicks so much ass. And then I got into F-Zero GX when Will let me borrow his copy for a few days, and I enjoyed that as well. But like most people, and I'm sorry, like everyone, I raged at the story mode.
Oh yeah, that's me as well. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
So Scott, your introduction to the series?
Never played it before in my
Oh.
entire life.
A shame.
Malcolm?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're all
I'm
awful
sorry.
people. I will
I'm
open up my
sorry.
virtual
I just-
machine and hire assassins to kill all of you.
Jesus.
Not me, because I love F-Zero.
Yeah, you're the.
Oh no, not
The
this
guy was
again.
driving-
I like F-Zero. I just never got a chance to play the games.
Alright.
There's only
Yeah,
so
I
much
guess
I
I
can.
should say my introduction to the series now.
Go ahead,
My
Will.
dad actually purchased my first home console because of F-Zero GX, actually. He really liked playing it in a store demo, and he bought a GameCube for this game. It wasn't the first game we got for it, but it was like the third, fourth game we got for it, somewhere around there. But yeah, we got it really soon, and yeah, that's how I got into F-Zero. And if it wasn't for F-Zero, I probably wouldn't have gotten into console gaming as soon as I did. So
I see. Even though your voice kind of dropped a bit, but I could still hear you hear you fine.
I can still hear it.
Um,
yeah, so
Yeah.
F-Zero does does actually mean a lot to me as a gamer. So
yeah. And as a fan of the racing genre, I think that's saying a hell of a lot.
yeah,
Because I got into F-Zero not just because it was the game that Captain Falcon was from, but because I found out it was a racing game, and I thought the vehicles looked so cool, and yeah.
oh jeez,
And-
yeah,
And let's face it, the Blue Falcon is one of the coolest futuristic cars ever.
oh yeah, totally.
Why do we all have cars similar to that?
Yeah, because the world hates
Because-
us. That's why.
I mean,
Life is like a massive, epic middle finger to everything.
We'll get hover cars whenever we get that skateboard that Marty McFly rode in Back to the Future
They're
Part 2.
called, the first
You
off,
mean
they're
the
called
hoverboard?
First off, they're called hoverboards, and second off, they're already available.
That kinda.
but they aren't really hoverboards. They're just lazy ass machines that you
Replicas.
just use to move around, and it's really, really lazy.
Yeah, the hover. The closest thing we have to hover technology is this thing that just makes it hover over a certain type of surface, and the other thing, the hoverboard only works on certain tracks, not actually free movement,
Yeah.
and it's also incredibly difficult to ride. I heard. So
Yeah, because you gotta stand on it and balance on it. It's just ugh.
it's basically riding a skateboard on a tightrope. I heard. So
Pretty much.
yeah,
And
and
meanwhile-
That's, that's
Yes?
riveting. That's just riveting.
But anyway, we're now on my least favorite track in the game, Deathwind number 2. Basically, it's like the first Deathwind, except now it has a bunch of sharp turns and corners. And again, that annoying wind that keeps blowing you all over the place. Thankfully, F-Zero X and GX and all the other games don't have any annoying wind condition, but yeah.
they
Yeah,
have other
there's no
stages
conditions.
that are also
I would
equally
imagine
hellish.
Would you imagine that this is probably similar to Big Rigs? You know, like-
No.
Where does that come from? Where does that
No,
come
in a way,
from?
from?
This game is anything like Big
reusing
Rigs.
reusing like the same stages every single time, except just adding a different number to it.
No, that's a lot of
No,
racing
that's
games
not-
actually do that.
Yeah, Mario Kart, Super Mario Kart does that.
Yeah. They mostly
Bird.
people, so yeah. It's also there's I think a number of don't know if you the Fast and Furious 3 does that a bit, doesn't it, Seth? Like
Wait, the video game or the movie?
Yeah. The game. Oh, not Fast and Furious, excuse me. Need for Speed 3.
Need for Speed 3. Well, Need for Speed 3 kinda does that, but the difference between the two versions of that same type of track is that you take a completely different pathway with completely new environments.
So like with this game. A completely same
well,
track
well,
with a completely new route.
Well, sort of, but Need for Speed 3 is clearly more visually appealing than
Probably
this
because
game.
it's on the PS2 and this is a launch Super
P-
Nintendo
PS
title.
I'm sorry, it's PS1 and Windows 98. I'm sorry, I'm kind of.
Now we sound like nerds, don't we?
I did that on purpose because
Nerds rule the world.
Yeah, my
No, actually,
favorite
no, I'm a
waifu is
geek.
very
I'm a
Benson.
Actually, no, I'm a geek.
yeah. No, it's pretty obvious that Lucas sounds.
It's
the nerd
pronounced
himself.
Leviosa.
Oh, Leviosa.
Oh, I love you so.
No. You know, it's kind of funny because I remember while I was at the Brain Scratch commentaries panel, some people thought I sounded like Lewis.
Oh.
Huh. Kinda.
That's what you thought.
Well, to be honest, I was purposely trying to sound like Lewis, but now I'm doing my normal voice, and yeah. Because I did a impression of Lewis while at the panel, and when when a lot of people were laughing about how I sound like Lewis, I was just like, any thoughts on that, Lewis? And then Lewis just did this silent stare at me for about 2 seconds before getting back to setting up the panel.
Oh.
So he didn't. So in other words, he had nothing to say.
Like Ryan, nothing to say whenever Johnny did something right on Super Mario 64.
Well, technically he did, but you know.
Things Johnny did wrong? Nothing.
Things Johnny did wrong. Things Johnny did wrong. Things Ryan did wrong.
Ryan did wrong. Yeah, I love that part
I'm
too.
glad I made that compilation.
Now, I'm not sure if Will knows what we're talking about because he doesn't seem to watch Brain Scratch commentaries as much as we do. Ironic, because he's the one who introduced me to those guys.
I have video games to play.
You and your RPGs and whatnot.
RPGs, Overwatch.
You and your Kingdom Hearts and your Final Fantasies and your Super Mario RPGs.
I don't play
Hey, that's
Super Mario
me.
RPG.
Oh.
Hey, that's me right there. That's me. That's all
Well,
me right there.
I love Kingdom Hearts, but in terms of any other RPG, I only ever rarely go back to it.
Oh,
So anyway,
I'm telling you, Tales of, Persona, all of those.
So anyway, I think we heard something about Matt from Tales Channel released a new Knuckles trailer. Why did you steal You stole my Knuckles voice actor from Jewels of Miracles!
Calm down,
Reason
Lucas.
why he
Why?
quote because the guy needs to eat. He was a good Knuckles voice, and also, again, he didn't steal it. He just got brought onto another thing.
Real.
Yeah.
Thank you, Will.
The man is not yours to own.
Yeah.
Oh,
so-
jeez. Of course not. Of course not.
Yeah.
That would be slavery and illegal.
Yeah. Which I totally would never think about doing.
And people say that I'm a fanboy at times.
Oh yeah, you are actually. You're a fanboy all the time.
Yeah, but Lucas is an even bigger fanboy.
No, you're the same level.
Like, how am I a fanboy? Of what?
Well, you freaked out about a guy having the same Knuckles voice.
You can't see it? I mean, like, I thought we all
We're all
were.
fanboys here,
We all were
guys.
fanboys.
I guess we're all
Oh, we all-
fanboys in some sort of way. I mean, I'm a fanboy of swords in video games, so yeah.
But anyway, that was part 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was part 5 of F-Zero.
Was the audio recording saved this time?
I think so.
Mhm.
Let's hope to God.
Let's hope so. So tune into the finale where hopefully things go as planned. See you then.
Bye.